and we are live with our 36th installment of Nansen Office Hours. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here this morning or this evening, depending on where you are in the world. Alex, how you doing this week?
Feeling rare. You like my
Looks
t-shirt?
rare. Looks rare, feels rare, sounds rare. I love that.
It's pretty comfy as well.
Can you share the backstory of your pengu? I thought that was really wholesome when you explained it to me.
Oh, like how I ended up buying a pengu in the first place?
No, like how you picked that one. Like, what is the special meaning?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at it. So there's basically two aspects here. The first is that it has a Viking helmet, and I am a Viking, a descendant of the Vikings. In fact, my name, Svanevik, the ending of the name, has the same root as the word Viking. So this helmet, represents me. And then it has Asian clothing, and I live in Asia. So it's a Viking in an Asian outfit. In other words, it's me.
I love it. I haven't sent you the picture yet, but I was in Montreal this weekend, and on the drive up there, I stopped in Woodstock and went to a couple like vintage clothing stores, and they had these kimonos. One looked exactly like that. I need to
really?
send you the pic, but I saw it. I was like, oh, yeah. If you're next time you're in New York, maybe you can pop up to Woodstock and
get the kimono. They still have it. Maybe some other pengu bought it. I've seen a few other pengus that kind of look like mine, which is kind of funny. They have like even the helmet and the kimono, except like they have sunglasses or a slightly different, cuter expression. I think I've seen at least two other ones that are in the same kimono Viking family.
I wonder. So I mean, that is the birth of a DAO right there. Like when you have a bunch of people that have like a similar feature that is recognizable. Yeah. That's typically how DAOs form up. So, for example, with CryptoPunks, there's a DAO called Beanie DAO, which has formed up, and it's anyone with the orange knitted cap on their punk. So, yeah,
that's very cool.
A kimono wearing Viking penguin.
I think that's probably a bit too niche. It will be like three people. But maybe a Viking pengu DAO could be like a few hundred, 200 maybe, or something like that.
Yeah. Hold on. Buy some time here. I need to close my window behind me. Otherwise, we're going to hear the New York sirens.
No worries. So basically, I can talk about how I ended up buying a pengu, because I think some people have had this impression that I've been shilling pengus, and I have been posting a lot about pengus. I guess the way I feel about pengus is that they're very cute, and I own 3 pengus that I'm taking to the grave. Maybe I thought maybe I will gift a pengu at some point, or even like do an auction and give the proceeds to charity if they become like worth $1 million. But I'm not planning on dumping any pengus. It's a pump and pump scheme.
Pump.
Yeah. And so it's been fun though. We ended up, seeing that Tom Schmidt from Dragonfly was fudding that no one would make a billboard with pengus on it. And on Monday, we had a billboard in KL, Malaysia, the center of KL, showing pengus. I'm not going to take any credit because I wasn't directly involved in fixing it, but some brilliant folks fixed it. I think now we lost Daniel. Interesting. Let's see if he comes back, or I'll have to do a lot of stand-up. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. I was like, shit, I'm really gonna have to do stand-up here now.
I'm just turning on my I just turned on my VPN so I could route some funds for a little special surprise later.
Oh, nice. Oh, we're gonna have a special surprise. Exciting.
Yeah, hold on.
Anyway, so pengus made it to New York Times even, right? Which was fun. Honestly, I've not been looking at the pengu price, but I've seen people on Twitter saying that it's tanking along with everything else, which I guess sucks for people who were planning on like flipping pengus. But hopefully most of you out there are longtime hodlers and believers in the pengu society?
Yeah, I'm still penguless, and I'm hoping that by the end of this,
fix that.
Yeah, by the end of this session, maybe we can resolve that. So if as people are watching, if anyone has any ideas for pengus or any suggestions on which one I should be picking out here, feel free to share it in the chat, and then we can actually, maybe I'll show how I navigate OpenSea. So if anyone is like kind of curious of like what kind of things to look at and what I'm analyzing as I buy stuff on OpenSea, I don't know if that's interesting to people. We can do that.
Oh yeah, I'm interested in that. Should we start there, or do we have to wait for your funds to arrive?
Yeah, you'll have to wait like 10, 15 minutes, I think.
Okay, cool. Then we gotta get something else in the meantime. I spotted an interesting thing just before going live. Maybe we should just start there and dive in. So I'll share my screen.
And for anyone who's new here, if you have any questions throughout this session, feel free to post it in the chat. There's actually a pretty lively discussion going on right now. A few GMs in here. Hello, Valentin. Hello, Daryl. Hello, Daniel Koo, Edison, Billian, Lex, Kirby. Let's frickin' go. All right, dive in.
Let's go. So this is a new homepage of Nansen, which is quite nice because it aims to surface the signal. And I feel it does a decent job at that because we have hot contracts here. This is kind of like a teaser of the hot contracts that VIP customers have, but it's still pretty useful on its own. And you can see often stuff that's happening here with regards to, new contracts that have capital inflow, and we've sorted by default on smart money on these widgets on the homepage. We have them for Ethereum. We also have them for Polygon. And you also have this gas consumer accounts, which surfaces the top gas consuming smart contracts. And this one is within sort of the top, it's sorted by the biggest increase. And so strong block, no idea what that is, but now it's on my radar. Of course, a lot of these other ones are well known, like 0x, OpenSea, Axie Infinity, Tether, USDC, and so on. But there's stuff you can discover just from looking at gas usage on its own. Then, of course, hot NFTs, which is kind of like a small section of NFT paradise. Right now, one of the art blocks collections is on top. Audioglyphs, which I think we will talk about afterwards, is number 2 here. Generative Masks, we could also talk about. And then some of the sort of well-known collections like Bored Apes, and of course, Pudgy Penguins, still in the top 10, as well as Cypher Squares, which I think just popped up quite recently. I saw it earlier, at least. And then you have smart money holdings. You have, these are holdings. A lot of them are stable coins right now, which I noticed earlier, like BUSD, USDC, USDT, TUSD, Aave USDT, CDAI, PAX. Actually, there's a lot of stable coins here right now. And then there's smart money token inflow and smart money token outflow, as well as the exchange flow over here, and then the net exchange flow over here. So that's the new homepage. Hopefully, you guys think it's useful as well. I think you will agree that it's way more useful than the old homepage we had, which basically was just a list of a bunch of dashboards. So I think this is pretty sweet, and it sort of draws your eye towards the signal, right? Which is our mission, to surface the signal. But let's dive into the thing that I discovered right before we went on air. And I was looking at Lido. And so I'll go to token god mode, punch in Lido, show token summary. And I had a look at the notable wallets. And there was something that stuck out right away when I was scrolling. First of all, I see a couple of smart money addresses here. And if I sort by change, I see the sort of top accumulating wallets in the last 7 days. And then these guys, Delphi Digital, 30,000 LDO tokens, 5 hours ago. What's going on there? I want to click through this, and I spot that there's a 30,000 LDO token transaction coming in from another wallet. You can drill down on that as well and see 10,000 token purchases quite recently. So there's been purchases that went into this wallet that was sent to this other wallet, and then they ended up here. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, and maybe we can keep an eye out on what happens there. Yeah, so that was just a small thing I shared on Twitter right before we went live that I wanted to show you. But we can go back to the homepage, because Audioglyphs, I think, is one of the things we can have a look at. It's one of the top collections on NFT Paradise, and also on Hot NFTs there on the front page. And this, the minting, I think, started, 17th of August, right? So that was yesterday, if my counting is correct. And you can see the transactions here. You can see some notable buyers who were early, as they often are. And then there's been a bunch of other people buying as well, and selling, of course, after that. Looks like the price has been pretty flat. And so what is this project? And this is where I will read a little bit, and it's not an ad, it's our analysts who prepared this for me. But effectively, Audioglyphs is a collection of 10,000 randomly generated infinite audio derived from on-chain data. They call these NFTs the future of music, since the technology uses irrational numbers so that the artists can create unique and infinite non-repeating music. Thematically inspired by pixel glyphs, when composing this project, we imagined pixel glyphs as low-fi characters and tried to create their soundtrack. This is a quote from their FAQ. And so they actually burnt 157 Ether in their first day, which we could see on ultrasound.money. But yeah, so it's 10,000 items in this collection. We can have a look at the breakdown, which is always fun because you can see who's buying them, and boom, right away you see Pranksy scooping up 500. That makes them the top holder of Audioglyphs. That's useful to know. There's a few other kind of well-known NFT investors here that at least I've seen a few times before. McDoner.eth, Zoidberg on OpenSea, and a bunch more. When Moon CX on OpenSea. And I think this is one of the top CryptoPunks holders down here. You can also see, of course, one thing you can do is you can sort by NFT sent, because then you can see who bought them and then just sold them right away, which can be quite interesting because these are typically flippers. And if you want to follow the flippers, you can set up smart alerts on these guys, for example. So if I click the top one, they received 83 and they've sent 80, right? So let's see, did they make money off of Audioglyphs? Looks like they did. So we can see that on realized gains. They had 3.3 Ether realized gains. They've sold 96% of all the Audioglyphs that they received. And they spent 5.8 Ether and received 8.54. Nothing too crazy, but that's how the NFT flipping game is done. Yeah, do you know this project, Daniel? Have you looked at this, Audioglyphs?
I do. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of pixel glyphs, and I got a few pixel glyphs back in the day, meaning like a week ago. Pixel glyphs is quite interesting. They're trying to be a like kind of decentralized gravatar. So like when you make an account on certain places, like you'll see this actually on Zapper.fi, you'll have this avatar that gets auto-generated for you, and each one is unique. So Pixel Glyphs made this project called Pixel Glyphs, and it's this decentralized gravatars, and that team also made Audioglyphs, and each Audioglyph is paired with a pixel glyph. So they use the random pixel glyphs to generate these audio files. I think it's a really interesting project in the sense that audio-based NFTs have been slightly underexplored, and haven't really. There hasn't been too much done there, especially with audio that is fully on-chain. So one of the really cool things about generative art is that if done right, all of the necessary components for recreating the art, whether it's audio, whether it's visual, should be stored on-chain, so that you can have a lossless version of it, lossless and scalable version of it that can be recreated just from the data that's on-chain. And this is in contrast to people who, upload photos on-chain. That's not to say like photo NFTs are less valuable, but the photos are stored in a separate place. So really what you're storing with a photo NFT is the provenance, the owner, and then a pointer to the digital file. Because you can't really store, a multi-gigabyte or like a gigabyte large file on chain for like a high-res version of a photo. So that needs to be stored elsewhere. However, with something like Audioglyphs, or I think the very first project that did this was Unigrid's on art blocks, you're actually able to store the music on chain, and like it gets created on chain. So these, another notable audio-based project is Euler Beats. These are all like early experiments, and I think they're pretty cool. When you listen to these pieces, like an audioglyph, this isn't like a Mozart piece. Like it's not like you're not going to be tearing up with the beauty of these pieces, but they are quite interesting, and you could actually see like a video game implementing some of these audioglyphs. Like imagine if you have your avatar walking through Treeverse soon. Like this is like the project by Loopify, and you can customize the audio soundtrack of your character as he bops around, and maybe your character is actually a Meebit or something like that you've put in this world, and he's walking around. So there are ways that these digital assets will start to be integrated into the metaverse, and using your Ethereum wallet as kind of like your passport, but also like your storage, your bag of things that you're holding, you can integrate all of these things in the future. I think that's going to be really cool. So audio is definitely going to be necessary. Avatars will definitely be necessary, and then other things as well.
Yeah. I've been quite, I've thought a lot about the lineage lately of NFTs and how that's really interesting. And it's kind of one of the things that makes NFTs unique, that you have an immutable record of the lineage. And that's basically a part of the art piece itself. And imagine, if this stuff, actually takes off, in the sense that, 50 years from now, we'll still be using these things. Like you will have the lineage of all these pieces that go back to the very beginning, which is pretty cool. And you don't have anything like that in the internet world, for example. So these things can like exist for hundreds or even thousands of years in theory, right? With the lineage of them. And, in the future, when robots rule the world, they will look back to these like the equivalent of the hieroglyphs, that we humans made, and like the early forms of, assets on the blockchain. And you will have the lineage going back to the very first mint, when people were aping into them and flipping them and so on and so forth. It's pretty fun to think about.
Completely agree. Whenever we're done with this, I think I'm ready to
you ready?
Do a little pengu shopping. But first let me turn off my VPN so there's no connection issues.
Okay.
I might disconnect here real quick.
Okay.
So maybe if you want to play an audioglyph in the background.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do an audioglyph or a very, very good joke. Okay, it looks like he disappeared. He might come back very soon once he has switched his network to another location. Oh, we have a double alpha curator. Oh, nice. You forked.
Hard fork.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm here now.
You're here now.
Okay. So let me share my screen.
I think while you do that, I'm going to post a link on my Twitter to say that we are getting you to buy a pengu.
Okay.
We're not forcing you. No one's getting forced, right? This is voluntary.
No. All right, hold on. First thing I'm going to do here, though, is so I've set up a new ENS, or I've set up a new wallet, and I'm going to buy dcarmitage.eth. Hopefully no one front runs me.
Oh, really? You're going to buy that now?
Yeah. That'll be my first order of business here. If anyone has not bought an ENS name before, it is worth checking it out. Oh no!
Did someone front run you?
No. I front ran myself.
Oh really?
And doxed, and self-doxed. It's all good. It's a semi-public, anyways. But this is like a fresh wallet. This will be like actual. I might even change my Twitter name to dcarmitage.eth.
Okay. Let's see if you're getting this. Wow. 3.33. So you have a decent budget to get a good pengu.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do the whole
No.
pengu.
I won't.
Okay.
So I have a question for you. Have you been having issues with MetaMask where it takes a while for your transaction to get picked up on Etherscan?
No, except, I've gotten out of the habit to always click fast, and sometimes that means it gets pretty slow, but it looks like here you were able to get it done. And then I can tell you've bought an ENS name before.
Yes. Where are you looking right now?
Sorry?
Wait, don't say it out loud. Where are you looking right now? At which address are you looking at?
dcarmitage.eth. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not looking at. No, I'm just literally looking at your screen buying it, because I could tell that you were very comfortable with the steps you have to jump through, right? Because it's kind of confusing when you buy an ENS name, I think, at least.
I'm having some issues with the gas limit here. It's not.
Oh, weird.
Me. All right.
But yeah. That's odd. Right. I think you can just set it pretty high, because I guess it won't spend all of it.
Yeah, I put in 200,000 as the gas limit. Let's see if that works. So if you haven't bought an ENS handle before, I would recommend buying one, just to, I think these are, as this digital asset boom is going on, even though there is some concerns over ENS handles being, oh no, gas not
no.
Even though there are some concerns over, like when you own an ENS handle, you don't actually own it, you're really just renting it. I think it is still worth picking these up, just like buying a domain name. These are kind of assets that will, in a few years, if ETH really takes off in a way that we all think it will, it'll be worth having these. So would recommend. And when you're picking it up, I would also recommend buying it for a long period of time, like 4 or 5 years. These are my thoughts. So we'll give this a second to load, and then while that loads, we can start checking out pengus here. So Pudgy penguins.
Is it possible to kind of like make the it's maybe you've zoomed out or something? It's like the text is really small. It's kind of hard to read.
I do keep it very zoomed out, just because I'm on a big screen, and
makes sense.
The default view is very small. Can you see it now better?
Yeah, it's a bit better now. Yeah. Man, look at these beautiful penguins. Okay, so how, like, for any noobs watching? Oh, did it fail again?
No, it's good.
That's good.
It's good.
The owner of dcarmitage.eth. Now you know where to send all your NFT condoms if you're watching this.
Is that a new thing that just dropped recently?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Someone sent me 20 NFT condoms, so I have those in my wallet, which is great.
Let's see if I can just set my reverse record here.
This was made when gas was pretty cheap, right? But now it's so expensive to like do all these different things.
Yeah, but for just to keep things moving, I'm smashing the gas.
Yeah. Okay. So for anyone who's new to Pudgy penguin shopping, I mean, this could be for any NFT, right? But of course, penguins are very cute. So how do you go about this?
Yeah. So one of the things I probably check first is rarity tools, and just kind of get a sense for what features. I'm assuming they're on here. I'd be surprised if they aren't.
Number one. They're number one.
Yeah, there we go. So I'd probably come here and just check, what are some rarer traits. So here I see, pineapple boy, banana boy, shark, ghost. Then these like shiny looking ones. Okay, so this looks like a rarer trait. This looks like this skin color or whatever. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at here. So you can click in on it. Leopard pink, and then leopard gray, I guess. These little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. Things like gold things on heads. Okay. So once I get kind of a sense of that, then I'll also kind of come. Well, so sorry, let me slow down.
The tables have turned. I can see you get excited about NFTs, just like I get excited about tokens.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing here roughly is like, it seems like the rarer ones are based on skin color or like skin rarity. And so that's probably like the starting point of where I would look. The next thing I would probably look at is like maybe hat attributes. I would probably pick one that I like there, but I'll start with skin and see what we see there. So I would come over here to skin. I would check out, okay, so I see the attributes. So black, navy blue, ice, gold, leopard pink, gold, leopard pink, leopard gray. And we'll start there because these are all the rarest. And I would turn on.
So now, yeah, I turn on by now. So this is kind of like high-end shopping, right? You're not like going for the floor penguin. You want to look at like the high-end ones.
Correct. But actually that is probably where I would start typically, is getting rid of these and check what the floor is on this. So floor is 1.2. The ceiling is, or like kind of the high end is almost 2x the floor. And I would just kind of check through here, see if there's anything interesting. Then here, when I start looking at the higher end ones, I see there's actually a pretty big gap between this cheap one and then like as the price scales up, like you see like there's actually, it goes to like mid threes pretty quickly. So if you wanted to like floor sweep kind of one of like these higher end ones, let's say, you could do that pretty quickly and set a new floor to like 3.49 or like 3.5 or even 4 pretty quickly.
I mean, this is assuming that you don't have someone who's like, what is that strategy called in trading? Iceberg or something? They just kind of put out a bit, but they actually have tons of pengus to sell, but they don't list them all at once. They will just drip them out as you or someone else scoops them up.
Yes, that's totally fair. And on a collection this large, like it's unlikely that you're able to really make a dent like that, or like doing this floor sweep strategy would work too well. Where it would work is in an uptrending market. Like if pengus were going up significantly, then you would feel a bit more confident. But actually what you're doing here is just like clearing the floor so people can start listing back below 3.49 and feel more confident that they're going to list, or that it's going to get picked up. So this is just kind of like initially canvassing the market, seeing what's going on. The next thing I would probably do is I would check out the activity feed. So you just type in activity here. This slug doesn't really matter. And I would just kind of see if there is actual buying going on right now. In a market that's extremely hot, this is like, this feed is like filled. There's pretty decent buying right here. Like I can see quite a bit. But one thing I do recognize here, or I do notice, is that bids are getting filled, which is notable because when people are like actually accepting bids, that's usually when the market is a bit slower. So like when it's bought with ETH, that means a buyer is just buying a piece outright. But when you see the pink one, the wrapped ETH, that means a seller has accepted a bid. And so sellers are getting a bit more squeamish, or like kind of trying to take profit.
Yeah.
And
by the way, I mean, maybe we can spin up Nansen as well, NFT God mode, because I think there are some nice additions here you could make. So one thing I also look at is when we go to the breakdown. So first of all, this is also quite good, right? You can get a sense of kind of the range of the price and so on. But this one, I quite like looking at the first table. Sorting by first in, I think, can be quite interesting because it shows you people who bought these NFTs for the very first time. So these are like the newcomers into this collection, and you have not a lot of newcomers like in the last 17 hours, right? That's like, you skipped ahead one, sorry. Like on the first page, within the last 8 hours, there's been like 24 newcomers into this collection. When you have like a very hot collection, typically, of course, you have a lot of people who are jumping in, and maybe the first page is like all people who bought it for the first time within the last hour or something, or even less than that. So this can also add to this understanding of like who is actually buying this right now for the first time, who's jumping into this collection for the very first time.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a decent amount in the last 24 hours, but it is also worth kind of, I mean, if you spend a lot of time on Twitter, you do recognize that there has been a decrease in people having Pudgy penguins as their profile pictures. So there is like a bit less excitement. Other things I would look at here on this page would be the volume of buying. Like it's pretty dramatic how much it's fallen off. Now, this isn't just Pudgy penguin specific. If you look at Meebits as well, you'll see this pretty large drop off and decrease in buying.
Interesting. Sure. The floor hasn't been too far off, but you can see the price has been going down, generally speaking, which is why you're going to get a bargain deal when you pick one up.
Let's see. So I don't know, as I'm looking through these, I don't really feel like these are going to be significantly more valuable than an absolute floor one. Like, to me, looking at the pink leopard, I don't feel like it's significantly nicer than just a pure floor one. I don't know. What are your thoughts? You're deeper in this than me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of those. What are they called? Like fisherman's hats or whatever. I mean, I don't mean to dunk on any specific family of penguins here, but that's what you said, the floor. So maybe the market agrees with me. Oh, look at that. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. Pudgy man.
What about Vikings? What's the Viking floor right now?
Let's see. That's head, I guess. Viking helmet, 196 of them. Should I join the Viking gang? That could work.
I mean, it is a good gang. I can recommend it. What's the floor here? 1.7. Huh. And what was the general floor?
The general floor was 1.2.
So it's a bit of a premium on the Viking helmets, understandably. What about, but there's different kimonos, I think, as well.
All right, let's see that. So body, we've got kimono.
Kimono gold. Oh yeah, there's a lot of different ones. What's the one I have though? It's like flowers, right? I don't even know.
Blue, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Blue kimono.
1.5. The first one is pretty cool, actually. But yeah.
There's
I think the
Anthony.
ones with the yeah, the ones that have like the bear hat. What are those called? I think those are quite cute.
Bear hat is Graze the bear hat.
They look pretty funny when you put them next to each other like that. Wow, 1.79. Yeah.
This one looks ridiculous with the with the handlebar mustache.
Oh man, they are pretty. They are quite cute though. Well, another thing we could do, maybe it's like the snap. I mean, I don't know if you want to do that though, but like snatch up one that has been owned by someone like who bailed. It would be pretty funny.
A weak hands one.
A weak hands one. Some of the influencers. Maybe in the background, I'll try to see if I can find one, and if I do, I'll show you how I found it.
So I guess one thing you could do there would be if you check out Hodlers, or no, sorry, Breakdown.
Yeah, the NFT Scent, right?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah, I guess that's one way.
Or the last out, maybe. Yeah, that's a good column to sort on, perhaps.
Let's see who's actually selling.
DeFi Police on OpenSea sold 3, but they still have 5. I kind of want to find someone who sold all of theirs, and then just.
So the NFT are Shamdu.
Oh, Shamdu is quite notable. Did they sell?
Let's see. No, he's only sold 1 so far, but I'm curious if they have more listed. So let's see. Pull the address here. Go to OpenSea. Plug this in. Shamdu. Pudgy. And then filter buy now, I guess. So they are selling some. 1 for 1.5, 2 for 1.5.
You gonna buy Shamdu's bags?
Hesitant. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of either of these. Although they've got the Kobe glasses.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? What is the actual property?
I don't know, but they're pretty funny.
Clout goggles. It's funny.
Yeah, I feel like you also want to find one that speaks to you, right? If you're gonna have it as a profile pic, which you probably won't, but you still want to. Which one do you feel you identify with the most?
I would consider an orange beanie, since I'm in the beanie gang on CryptoPunks.
Oh, yeah.
Where's beanie? Even though I don't think they actually look super great, but I can probably get a floor one here. This fella's kind of cute.
That one is pretty good. That has the same face as mine. That's a good one.
Or this one. This is like a little winter
cheeky
boy. A little cheeky, yeah.
The winter pengu. Yeah, I think both of those are pretty good. There's even one with a red kimono right there, right?
Where do you see the red kimono?
The fourth one from the left. Yeah.
I kind of like this guy.
Okay.
Little carrot head.
Yeah. How much is he?
1.94. But this is a capitulation penguin here. Like, this guy bought it for 3.
Oh, nice.
And now he's selling it for 1.94. I don't know if I'm getting a good deal. That's a bold statement, but
this is you're gonna hold on to this for the next generation.
Absolutely. 229. Low digits here. 75.
LFG in the Pengu Club. Yeah, I think you you gave it a gen. So your MetaMask has not been upgraded either, right? To EIP 1559.
No. Can you see my MetaMask when I share my screen here?
I can, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Completing checkout. And so, of course, this is not financial advice. We are not recommending you to buy Pudgy penguins or any other digital assets. We are merely having fun and showing off these different tools that you can try out yourself. So you bought DC Armitage.eth, that's one NFT, and then you also bought your first Pudgy penguin. Beautiful.
Well, definitely not my first NFT on.
Yeah, I mean on this wallet, right? It's a fresh wallet.
This is so frustrating that it takes so long to broadcast, especially when you're trying to like snipe something on OpenSea, or when you're trying to, I don't know, do anything like participate in a mint. And if anyone knows why it's so slow, I would love to know. It's been especially bad since EIP 1559. All right.
Nice pengu. Congrats.
Nice. Looks rare.
It looks rare. It does look rare. It is quite nice, I have to say. I really like it.
Thank you very much. Let's see.
So, new profile pic. Here we go. Oh man, that is funky. I kind of like the yellow background. It feels very fresh.
Yeah, feels rare.
Feels rare. Okay, so that's enough pengu shopping, I guess, for one office hour. What are we going to look at next? We have two things. Actually, maybe let me segue here into something else, because why are we even talking about NFTs so much? Well, I can show you why. If I can just find the right thing and share my screen here. Let's see. Window. Why do we care about NFTs? Why are we talking about it so much? Well, if you scroll down to the top gas-consuming entities, OpenSea, on several occasions in the last 7 days, has actually been consuming more gas than the king of gas consumption, Uniswap. In other words, it feels almost like a flippening event, where the NFTs flipped the ERC20s. Right now, though, it has kind of gone back, where OpenSea is 9% and Uniswap is 33%. But at some point, OpenSea was 35% and Uniswap was 24%, for example. And so clearly, there's a lot of people trading, flipping, investing in NFTs. And obviously, we just showed you an example of one collection, and how people go about thinking about which ones to buy if they have a bit of time on their hands. Sometimes they just ape into stuff somewhat randomly, but that's kind of the context on the macro picture here. Another thing I wanted to touch on, since we are at this macro dashboard, the gas tracker, which, by the way, we're making some improvements to, which will be shipped relatively soon. The EIP 1559 adoption is currently sitting at around 20%. I think last office hours we were looking at something like 5%. So this is going up. Although, as we just noted, MetaMask has not rolled out the London upgrade to all of their wallets on Chrome, or all of their Chrome installations or users. So that's one of the reasons why it's not higher. I don't have it activated. Looks like Daniel does not have it activated either. Last time I spoke with MetaMask, it was in the single-digit % of Chrome extension users who actually had it rolled out. I don't know how many people have it now. But, that's something to keep an eye on as well, because it has implications for Ethereum as a whole, and, gas prices and so on and so forth. So that's a quick update on that. I think there are two more things we could look at that the guys have prepared. One is BitDAO. And so perhaps we could look at Bit in token god mode. And we can also look at, some of these notable wallets. You can see the Bit token being held primarily by Sushiswap, because there was a token sale through Miso for the Bit token launch. And they did a Dutch auction for 200 million Bit tokens. 180 million were in the pre-sale and 20 million were in the in the ETH Bit pre-sale, and 20 million were in the Sushi Bit pre-sale. So let's look at how this looked like on chain. So you can see this Sushiswap pool being the top inflowing destination of tokens. Let me sort that again. For some reason, it sort of refreshes twice. So I think that's a little bug we have to give to the product team. If I sort it again now, okay, now it's done. So if I sort it now, you will see that's the top, inflowing address. You can also see Gate.io, MXC2, Uniswap, another Uniswap pool. Oh, that's the Sushiswap pool. This is the Uniswap V3 pool. And you can see large transactions here. And you can see sandwich attack victim getting some tokens. You can see a Gnosis safe creator getting some tokens and then sending those tokens to their Gnosis safe. You can also see Miso Dutch Sniper. That's pretty interesting.
Did we label that, or is that contract?
It's a contract name, probably. We can have a look at it. It's kind of interesting. And it went to this race car. We've seen this wallet many times, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think at some point we figured out who it was. But yeah, I can't remember. It looks like they set up this Miso Dutch Sniper, though, which sniped some tokens and then sent it to that address. So presumably, if we look at this in the wallet profiler, which I can now do by just clicking on this, we will probably see it was deployed by that same address. That's just a wild guess. But we should be able to see that in the related wallets. Because presumably they deployed a sniper which snipes the tokens for them, right? But let's see if this prediction is accurate or not. Maybe I'm wrong. It takes a bit of time to load it. But yeah, that's what it did. So just grabbed those tokens and then sent it out to this other presumed owner of the sniper contract. Oh no, it was deployed by someone else. So presumably that deployer has some kind of relation with the other one. But you can keep going down that rabbit hole if you wanted to figure it out. Looks like there's a lot of tokens that are locked. BitDAO, Bybit locked. Sorry, BitDAO, Bybit locked. And you see the pre-sale, you see a lot of stuff. But I'd probably want to understand who the top buyers are, which you could, look at here, and maybe who has been flipping it. And so you can play around, of course, with the table here. We can also look at the pre-sale wallet itself. So if I bring that up here, this shows the activity of that wallet. And you can see it was created by BentoBox V1, the contract itself. And then you could look at the counterparties here of incoming Ether. And you could look at who was shooting in Ether into this contract by sorting on volume in. Let me try that again. There we go. It looks like some of these they were probably just created to ape into this one because they have no labels, which is kind of unusual. Oh, get this double loading. It's very annoying. Okay. You see some smart LPs. But yeah, the biggest one, 13,990 Ether going in. And then receiving Ether as well. That's unusual. That's strange. Okay. Anyway, that's that one. There's a lot of stuff you can dig into there if you want to understand what was actually going on. And this was this Miso Dutch Sniper. I had no idea, but I guess someone sniped some tokens. This was the deployer that created that sniper contract. And we could see where that got funded, where it got its Ether from. And let me just clean up a bit here in the background in the meantime. So just to remind you, we just plugged in the token address for BIT here. So you can, you can put in addresses, tokens here that we have listed, but you can also copy in any token address you want, and it will show these stats.
So as you keep poking through, wow, there's a lot of interesting ENS handles there. As you keep poking through that, zooming out, why this kind of workflow is useful is you could also do something like this for rare token, which maybe we can do right after, because that token launch just happened. That's probably a bit more, or possibly a bit more relevant to people if they got the airdrop.
That's right. Let's look at that afterwards. That's a great idea. By the way, just wanted to confirm that you can see, we said that the sniper contract was deployed by, another contract, namely the one we're looking at right now, this 0x20D. But this one was funded by the wallet that received the tokens, the BIT tokens, right? So you can clearly see the connection there. And I don't know, to me, I'd probably want to have some kind of smart alert on this wallet. Like if they're smart enough to create the sniper contract that grabs tokens for them, they're probably smart enough to do a lot of other interesting things as well. So yeah, we've looked at this one before, and I'd probably want to study this one a bit more to understand it.
Yeah, you've mentioned before, like each wallet is a case study in and of themselves. Like you could probably spend a significant amount of time just analyzing this individual wallet and their associated wallets and understanding what they're up to. This would be useful whether you're someone who uses flash loans to make trades, or if you're a coder who's able to say eggplant. Do you see that eggplant, ENS?
Oh, I didn't. This one, yeah.
They've got it. Yeah. Anyways, each one is a case study, and it's worth checking these things out. But on the note of the ENS handles, just because we talked about them already, so these 3 emoji ENS handles are interesting because the minimum amount of characters you need in an ENS handle is 3. So this person, and there's only so many combinations of 3 emoji ENS handles. So this person clearly is trying to snipe all of the memeable ones. In a past office hours, I don't remember which one, we talked about kind of a workaround on that, where you can use a special character in the ENS handle to make it render just as an individual emoji. I can't remember what it's called. An empty character or something like that. But that's how sometimes you see people with one like individual emoji.eth.
3 emojis in one.
Let's see.
Combine 3 emojis to make a unique design.
Yeah. Look up like flaming heart emoji.
Flaming heart emoji.
And
this one.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this is the website, I think, but I don't remember what it's called. Like,
yeah, because this is effectively three different ones.
Yeah,
I don't know which one, or it's 2.
Like heart, and then like this empty character, and then fire, and that combination is what makes the flame. Like it renders as a flaming heart.
Got it. So just to spell it out for the folks at home. So effectively, the lower limit of an ENS name is 3 characters, and this gets parsed as 3 characters because it is composed of those 3 other characters, right? And that's why you can see this one .eth as an actual ENS name.
Correct.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And have all of those 3 combination emojis been taken, or is there some kind of way to?
I think most of the decent ones. I think there's some like long tail ones where you can have like a different skin colored policeman or something like that, because like you can have I don't know. There's ways of like doing individual policeman or fireman, for example, and like most people have taken certain skin colors, but there's still others that are available, or hair colors. Like you can do like someone who's blonde rather than someone who's red haired. I don't know. Yeah. For each of these different combinations.
Cool. Hey, one thing I wanted to talk about as well briefly is we don't track Solana at the moment, but you could look at the bridges from Ethereum to Solana to get an understanding of like how much those are used, because many people are interested in the Solana ecosystem right now, and so this is the wormhole bridge. There's also the solid bridge, which I think, yeah, we just have it listed as Solana bridge contract, but it should probably be specified to be the solid one. And you can see the activity of this one over time. The wormhole one in particular has been sort of pumping a bit over the summer, Sol summer. But you can then also look at which tokens are being moved. And one potential alpha leak that the guys recommended is that you could set smart contract alerts on certain bridges to track inflow and outflow of tokens, which is actually probably an interesting idea. So if you wanted to, put a smart alert for AXS, the Axie tokens, to the Ronin bridge, that's something that you could do as an example.
But okay, so how do you make that so it's not annoying as heck?
You probably have to just put a high enough threshold, right?
And what would you be looking for there? Funds bridging over? Well,
yeah.
No, I know. But like, what exactly would you be looking at in a smart alert like that?
Probably like funds moving, market makers now coming over. Maybe they're like dumping AXS on, like, actually on Ronin. I don't think you have a DEX yet, but when you will have a DEX, if there's a price, if there's an arbitrage opportunity, you could probably see that, taking place, because there's money being moved from one chain to another one. And so if someone's going to go in and sort of like take that opportunity, you'd probably want to front run them if you happen to have funds on Ronin, for example.
One other thing you can do is filter down to just the labels. So like just smart money if you wanted, or just funds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing you could do. Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to show, maybe you could show people how you would do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100%, because Axe is actually like not the best example, because Axie has these like two different tokens, an old and a new one, which makes it a little bit confusing. But if we look at the Ronin bridge here, we can probably see a few different things. We can probably see how I guess the balance has been growing over time as people have been migrating Axie tokens to Ronin. That's what I would expect. And indeed, that's what we see from like May. It's been going up to like 16 million Axie tokens. Lots of different addresses as well. Almost 70,000 addresses have done this. And on the flip side, people kind of like bridging the other way around is only like 8,000. It's typically like a one-way transaction. But if you wanted to make sure you don't get spammed, I mean, you could just look at what are the largest transaction sizes, right? And so, hey, maybe something like 10,000 would be a good threshold here, right? Just looking at the numbers, I don't think you'd receive tons of alerts from that, but you could put something like 20,000 or 10,000, and so you would simply copy the address, which is up here, right? Or you could grab it from here as well. Same. You go to smart alerts, add trigger. You want to do this on Ethereum, right? So AXS to Ronin, for example, and you put this event types token transfer, and you would choose AXS new, and you would say minimum USD value. Well, actually, this is USD value. Okay. Well, then you would just go back and figure out, actually, I went back from the other one. It was 10,000, and now it's at around maybe, I guess it was at 80 or something like that, right? So maybe you take 100,000, right? Now you get a notification every time someone bridges $100,000 worth of Axie tokens into Ronin. And of course, you have to input your Telegram, Discord, or Slack down here, and then you just save it. And that's it. So, this is just an example with Axie, but you could do this with Solana. Maybe you see, Alameda transferring large stablecoin volumes over to Solana. Although I guess they don't need to use the Ethereum bridge; they would just somehow directly pull it from FTX. I don't actually know. But yeah, so like looking at these bridges and setting up alerts for them could actually be quite interesting and quite useful.
Agreed. Okay, I don't know if we'll have time to dig into rare here, but
Ah, damn. Should we just have a quick look? Because I kind of want to look at that as well.
sure.
I don't know if we have it here. I don't think so. Okay, so then we get to show you how you do this. You would just go to Etherscan, probably. SuperRare, that's the one we're interested in. Just grab the token address, paste it in, hit enter. And I've not looked at this actually, but it looks like someone else has because there's a cached version of it here. We're on notable wallets. So Hackatao on OpenSea. I guess we'll see some NFT chads here, right? Because it's an NFT-oriented project. Hackatao, some uncommon NFT collectors, Frenetic Void. Here we go. Missile Simpson.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some OGs like Coldy, Frenetic Void. Let's see, who else I recognize.
Xcopy. That's
Xcopy for sure. Fuckrender.
And these are probably, actually, you can look at the this one, not properly labeled, but I think if you put 2 and 2 together, you will realize that this is likely the wallet where you claim your rare tokens. So we should note to the team, if you're watching, we should label this one because it's not very usefully labeled right now. But these two should probably be labeled. So we can go to recipients and we can look at who has been receiving rare tokens, because these are probably the claimers, the ones who have claimed rare tokens from the airdrop. And there's still like 49.6. Oh, no. You see it jump down there from 49.6 to 34 because many people have been claiming. So this is going to load up the top recipients of rare tokens from this address. And let's see what it shows us. Anything you wanted to check here in the meantime? Beanie.eth. Wow. Oh, these are the top balances. It's kind of interesting as well. It should probably overlap quite heavily with the one we're loading right now.
Yeah. Nothing to point out here, but once we're done looking at this, let's quickly run through some of the questions that were in the office hours.
Wow. Xcopy is the biggest claimer.
That tracks. I mean, they've sold a ton. And if you look on...
Damn, this is a lot. For 4 million, it's
$2 or something right now?
It's like it's 150 or something, right? So it's like $6-7 million. I mean, it's not like Uniswap level, but it's a very good payout for them. Congratulations.
Yeah. There's a piece of one of their pieces on fractional. I don't know what the liquidity is right now, but if you wanted to get like fractional exposure to it, that would be an option.
I gotta say, I think this is a really cool list of addresses.
I mean, yeah, these are like mostly a lot of like like NFT OGs.
Exactly, because SuperRare is like one of the first art NFT projects, and obviously these guys were very active on SuperRare, so it's really cool. The pioneers of NFT art, right here. Very cool.
Yep.
Some smart money as well.
OneDAO, I haven't heard of that.
Let's have a look. Oh, damn, this shouldn't link to Etherscan. This should link to the wallet profiler. Feedback.nansen.ai. Oh, interesting. OneDAO.eth. So they have a different name here than there. Oh, okay. Now it updated. Maybe they just recently bought the OneDAO.eth. Anyway, yeah. Actually, we'll probably want to look at the wallet profiler. I mean, there's so much stuff you could look at. So I think we might have to just do the one last thing you wanted to do. Well, oh, shit, they're really active. Wow. October 2017 is when they started, and they've been extremely active in 2020. Pretty distinct time zone pattern here. That's funny. Huh. Yeah, you can look into this.
Apparently, Beta Finance just launched. Thank you, Daryl, for the heads up.
Beta Finance?
Beta.
Not this. Okay.
Not sure. Maybe we can check on Twitter. Beta Finance.
Maybe beta.fi or something.
app.betafinance.org.
Ah. Beta is now live. Cool. High yield and safe crypto from volatility. Interesting. Distributing says retroactive. Okay. We will be distributing. Okay.
Do they have a token that's active right now?
I guess the beta one, but let's see if we can find, is there a beta token? Beta token, where are you? Methodology, protocol, FAQ, maybe? Maybe the token is not, here we go. Token is not launched yet.
But I guess maybe we can check on hot contracts and see if it's popped up there.
And let's see. Wow, AirSwap. Let's let this load. Sympathy for the devil. Yeah, we can look at hot contracts so specifically. Yeah. Oh, this one maybe. Oops. That's DAO. Got a bit lost there. Wow, look at that. The rare, these rare pools are among the top as well on inflow. Yeah, I guess people can look into that if they want, but seems like there is some stuff going on that you can spot on hot contracts or even on the homepage potentially. This one, I guess. Alrighty, should we wrap it up?
One final thing. Let's quickly run through some of these questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Lex asks, I have a game studio. Where should I go for funding for an NFT-based game? We're not experts on that, but right now is a very hot environment for NFTs. And I think if you are active on Twitter or in some of these NFT communities and you start sharing some of your ideas, you'll have no problem connecting with interested investors.
Yeah, if you're an actual game studio or game developer, I think that's going to be attractive to people because most people, I think, want to invest in game studios who are leaning into crypto, not the other way around. So, yeah, feel free to reach out on Discord, join our Discord and ping us.
Cool. SB says, you mentioned a weak NFT market right now. Is it possible to see that on Nansen? Yes, I would say probably like I can't necessarily say it's a weak NFT market because there's still like significant volume. We're constantly smashing through new ceilings. Just today, there was one of the highest Fidenza sales of all time. Alex Weiss for 650 ETH bought a rare Fidenza. So there is still a ton of NFT activity, but you do see some weakness in some of the collections. So even like pengus, as we were looking through those earlier, you see the volume is dying down compared to last week. Doesn't mean markets are dead. I mean, if you look at these volume charts before August, it was like effectively comatose. So it's still more active than then, but less active than last week.
Yeah, I think that's right. You can see it clearly in the individual collections, and I think what you want to do is you want to look at the sort of well-known NFT collections and see how they are doing. So Bored Apes would be an example. CryptoPunks would be another example. And then, maybe we should make some kind of macro volume indicator, which would actually not be that hard for us just aggregate up, this chart for all the different NFTs. It could be pretty cool, actually. But you can look at the top ones and get a sense of the market overall.
Continuing on here, can you show us how to mint an NFT? I kind of did earlier when you poke back through, when you look at the ENS purchase. It's pretty straightforward. You usually just go to the website and you set the number that you want to buy. You click mint, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah, maybe we should say it depends a bit on the project, right? Like the user interface will be different and so on. And there's a difference between like minting your own sort of one-of-one NFT. If you're an artist, that's a very different process than minting an NFT in a collection.
Great point.
So it depends a bit what you're looking to do. But yeah, it probably takes too much time to cover it for now, but I'm sure there's good resources out there.
Yep. Moving on here. What are your thoughts on rarity sniper scores? I think rarities are worth checking out just to see, if you've got, sorry if there's noise in the background, worth checking out to see like where your NFT stacks up compared to the rest of the collection. But there isn't a direct link necessarily between rarity and pricing. So it's not like because you got a rarity score of like 3,000, you can price it at X ETH. So it just kind of gives you like a relative place to price your NFTs, or like, yeah. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. I look at it just to get a sense of it, but it's not necessarily it's not actionable directly. What else here? John Lloyd mentions, sorry, maybe I shouldn't be mentioning full names. Sorry. John mentions generative masks might be a useful case study. I agree that generative masks were quite hyped and still are quite interesting. I think the comparison was, it was like a famous generative artist from Japan launched this project, and I think there's a decent amount of hype. It's not a recommendation to buy, but it was a decent launch.
Just want to show that, yeah, we do have that here, right? It was on the NFT Paradise. It's still among the top projects. It's here the fourth most traded project in the last 24 hours, and you can see here how it's been evolving. You can see, I think this one, I was watching this a bit, and I felt like this was the most useful chart in a way, like at least in the short term, because you could see very clearly how the price was moving. And complementing this or with the OpenSea view, I felt like this sort of surfaces a bit, where the price is headed and how it's swinging. It almost looks like a normal price chart in the token markets, and looks to me like it's been picking up a little bit again. And so it's like sitting at around like bit less than 1.4, around that level. And then another chart that I found interesting was looking at the number of unique holders, which crossed 3,000 pretty fast. And then of course you always want to look at, who are the different addresses that are picking up this NFT and what they're doing. Many people were flipping this, like they do with many NFT projects. But again, it was kind of useful to see on NFT Cent. You can see a lot of these guys just flipping the tokens effectively, buying like 100 and selling 97, right? Blur.eth. And I mean, we could check how much money they made on it. 17 ETH profits, right? Interesting. Anyway, yeah. So not going to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah, that's a good case study. I agree.
Continuing on here. Someone in the chat says, just mint all projects, Big Peepee, Pengu, Fast Food Penguins, Aliens, Martians, etc. I would disagree with that. I think at this stage in the market, you do need to be a bit more selective. The market is very saturated with profile picture projects. I think we're kind of coming up to a bit of fatigue. I don't think we're done yet, but I would be a lot more selective at this stage. Gone are the times where you can mint anything and flip it immediately for a profit that can only last for so long. So do be careful, or at least research projects by checking out the community first, going on Twitter, seeing if they're engaging with people. I think once upon a time, any anonymous team could launch something, but these days you do want a bit more accountability, because there's tons of teams who will just mint something and then say, "See you guys, thank you," and that's the end of it. So be careful. Did you get a Bored Ape comic? I did. I have, and then the next question is, what are your thoughts on it? I don't have any major thoughts on it. I was sitting at lunch and I saw the Bored Ape comics going, and I quickly aped in, but I didn't do any research, and I don't think the floor price is doing too good right now. Let me see what Bored Ape comic. I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, you can DYOR on that one. I would say my first thought on it is kind of a derivative project. Like there was Punk's comics, and this is kind of a copy pasta of sorts. So unless they're doing something like highly unique or something very creative, at most it's going to be like trading below Punk's comics. And so if you're looking to get exposure to something like that, there could be other better trades if that's your plan. If you're deep in the Bored Ape community and you trust that they're actually going to deliver, then maybe not a bad buy. Shout out Sam CZ's son. I guess that was mentioned when we were looking at the BitDAO. Yes, definitely shout out to Sam for
the genius saves the day once again.
Yeah, like what was it? $350 million worth of ETH for a potential vulnerability in Miso. Paradigm posted something about that. Worth giving it a skim if you want to stay abreast of these situations.
It's an entertaining read. Definitely worth reading.
Yeah.
Also, I have to say, I did find it quite poetic that the first lead investor of Uniswap, their research team saves Sushiswap. I almost got a tear in my eye when I read it. It was quite beautiful. Especially since there's been some beef back and forth between the Sushi team and Paradigm and Uniswap team on Twitter. True. How you liking my pengu shirt? I love it. I might get one myself with my own. Might make one for you. Yeah, ship it over. All right, I think that's about it. Oh, final question. What do you think about Decentraland and wearables in the metaverse? I think it's nascent still, but definitely feels like an opportunity or something that'll make sense in the future. If you're walking around the metaverse with your character, of course you'll want him or her or them or it to be wearing interesting clothing or outfits, and you can be. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I'm actually not too familiar with the Decentraland ecosystem, so no comments on that specifically. And I think that wraps things up with that little lightning round of questions. Thank you everyone for asking them. And anything else to add, Alex? Not really. I'm glad you're in the Pengu gang, and look forward to setting up billboards and advertising campaigns all over the world with you. Yeah, I updated my picture on Twitter as well already. Amazing. If you're still here watching, make sure you smash that like button. This is the most obnoxious part of the whole session. Smash it. Click follow. Actually, we are almost at 2,000 followers on our Nansen YouTube account. I think we're UTB follower number 2,000. Yeah, we're at 1,940. Wow. So 60 to go. Yeah, our first 2,000 followers are
deep in our hearts. So you've got 60 spots left to get in there. Anyways, thank you again, everyone, for joining, and we will see you next Wednesday morning, or morning my time, evening Alex's time, and we look forward to catching you then. Bye.
Take care.